Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, we have multiple ways to be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those who need instant gratification. The show's Twitter feed is @SkimPod, SKIMPOD.
Stays Crunchy.
If you want to hear yourself on the show, why not leave us a voicemail? 216-302-8763. That's 216-302-8POD.
Stays
For the
Crunchy.
more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again being spelled with a K. We're available via Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, Spotify, and of course at the website stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever you can.
Stays Crunchy.
And if the pockets is feeling extra chunky, you can put in on this and support our Patreon. It's available at patreon.com/stayscrunchyandmilk. And if you donate at the $5 or higher level, you get an entire extra show each month with even more content coming soon.
Stays Crunchy.
Our personal Twitters are Tatum216, Lunchbox2099, The Real ODP, and I'm your host, the Internet's Tayrail713. 360 degrees like my D's, the world be spinning. Niggas been sinning since the beginning. History's a trip, so I peep what I'm reading. Niggas probably grew weed in the Garden of Eden. Before big ballin', 6 cars and loots. It's like bitches being scandalous, biting forbidden fruit. But gangsters don't deal with that shit on the west side. And since they're regulating hoes, I rolls with the best side. So check it, as my lifetime is ticking. Coming up strong, licking and flipping chickens. Need cheese, an amount of G's. I gave up sports to slang keys, but blamed it on my knees. Make sure I got what I need to make up your order. Everything from baggies, triple beams to jugs of my water. Like a snitch, life's a bitch. A world full of drama. Drug paraphernalia being found by my mama. Trauma brings the sad song your mama sings. Just serve your ass. You on your way to kill a king, nigga. So now I stand with the heat in hand for my whole lifespan. Cause evil lurks in the land. Plus I got a packet with the gangbang jacket. Gotta hold it, keep it loaded, devoted, since quoted. For show 1-0. Got the ups on these pranksters while this world keep twisting as a west side gangster. Though life, nigga. Gangsters make the world go round. What's good, folk? Hello, and welcome to it. Stays Crunchy and Milk, episode 384, and we riding straight through Connecticut. I'm joined by my best friends, Tatum216, Lunchbox2099, and my homeboy, the Real ODP. See, I gave y'all space.
It's confusing now. It's confusing now.
Because y'all told me last week that y'all niggas was y'all wanted y'all spot. So I stopped. I gave a breath. I allowed for it, and y'all sit in silence. I
saw it too. I knew it.
But we don't know what to do now.
Nope.
Yeah, you took it away without notice, and now you gave it back without notice. What the fuck are we supposed to do?
Y'all said y'all told me last week y'all was taking that shit back.
You told us not to talk in church, but then when Mama Ruth asks us how we doing, we don't know what to say now.
Anyway, that was Mac 10's verse from Gangsters Make the World Go Round. West Side Connection, West Side Connect Gang, bing, bing, bang. And for whatever reason, that's the verse that spoke to me this week. So that's the verse I spit to you. We back up in it again, grooving, trying to get through our various technical situations. I think at this point, you know what, Bucks? You have not caused me an issue yet. And I'm not trying to say other than y'all caused me issues, but I have not had to add anything to your outfit to make your shit work. So far, so good with your shit. It's probably time to replace them headphones. But that's just because it's probably time to replace them headphones. But that's about it.
We all had that one time where I recorded off the wrong audio, but it is what it is.
It worked. Yeah, it was just the wrong mic, so we figured it out. So, but at this point, everybody is got good sound and good equipment and so forth. So we riding, we rolling, and if all works out, this will be the last time we record on Zoom. We're gonna try some new shit next go around, cause I don't know, Zoom has caused me some hiccups, some issues, but
the people don't care.
I mean, but those who do care a lot. So it's just what it is, man. But as always, you know how we do. We hit the ground running. I got a few stories. We all gonna just chat about life, Gonna do some am I the asshole, and then we'll get the fuck up out of here. That's how it goes. It's a very simplistic situation.
Go to bed.
I talked to the dude at Target tonight about it. He was like, "What's this for? It's for the PlayStation?" I go, "No, man. My man needs a hard drive for his computer. We do a show," and I pointed my hoodie because I have a show on. And he's like, "Oh man, what y'all talking about in there?" And I literally laid out what I just laid out to y'all. We do some articles. You know what I'm saying? We talk some life shit, and you know what I'm saying? We wrap it up and so forth. Oh, that's cool, man. I'm not really. My friends wanted me to do a podcast, but I don't really want to talk about my stuff get caught up out there. And I'm like, we talk about a lot of shit, but we ain't getting caught out there. So.
I confessed to a few crimes.
He did say, he was like, but I'm a producer and I got a buddy who raps and so forth. I'm like, oh, what's his name? And he told me the gentleman's name is Trench Boy Bricks. Trench Boy Bricks, BRCKZ. He's a local Cleveland rapper. And I gave one track a listen. I was like, hey, I'm gonna go listen to this while I'm in the car. And It's Like, featuring Trench Boy Bricks and Q Money, apparently produced by Ryan Wolf, was a pretty decent song. So I'm just gonna shout out this random Target employee who told me about a local rapper, and will tell you to go look him up on Spotify, Apple Music. He seems to be everywhere. Trench Boy Bricks with a Z, and it wasn't bad. I oftentimes somebody will point me in the direction of a rapper, and it's like, that guy should probably find a new line of business. But this guy seems to have some decent skill, and I could see him, if he stays on it, becoming somebody or becoming something. And if he does, you can say, hey, Skim put me onto that shit, and that's wild. But otherwise, let's get to it. Body camera video shows now fired Cleveland cop used stun gun on a man standing on a sidewalk armed with a jug of antifreeze.
Oh man, that sounds like Grand Theft Auto. Some shit I did yesterday.
This is by Adam Farees over at Cleveland.com. A new body camera video released by Cleveland officials on Tuesday shows a fired city officer use his stun gun on a man who stood on the sidewalk yelling at officers. The video is the second of 3 released showing the pattern of excessive force that led to former officer John Petcack's December firing. Petcack wrote in his report that he used a stun gun during the July 24th, 2019 encounter because the man was armed with a jug of antifreeze. Cleveland Safety Director Kerry Howard wrote in his letter notifying Petcack of his firing that he found the officer used excessive force, improperly used a stun gun, failed to use de-escalation tactics, and failed to report his use of force accurately. The city has yet to release its complete internal affairs investigation to the public and has said there is a third video that it declined to release as of Wednesday afternoon. A video police released last week showed a separate incident where Petcack with his foot on a criminal suspect's throat.
Jeez.
The most recent video showed Petcack drove to help another officer arrest a man along Payne Avenue and East 22nd Street. Within seconds of getting out of his car, Payne shouted at 2 men standing on the side of the street and threatened to arrest them. "Get lost or you're coming with us," Petcack said. Petcack then yelled at Maurice Lewis. "Go back to 2100, Petcack said, referencing the nearby homeless shelter. "Go back to 2100 and I'll go back to my community." Another officer walked up to Lewis in the middle of the street, but eventually walked away. Petcack continued to demand that Lewis leave. Lewis can be heard shouting back, sometimes using obscenities, but it's unclear from the video exactly what he said. Petcack put the arrested person in his cruiser and walked up to Lewis, who took a few steps toward the officer. Lewis pulled out a stun gun. Petcack again yelled at Lewis to get the hell out of here. Lewis didn't move. Petcack pushed Lewis with his other hand. Lewis said, "Don't touch me." Petcack told Lewis he'd use the stun gun if he took another step. Lewis again didn't move and told Petcack, "You're trying to set me up, bitch." Before Lewis finished his sentence, Petcack fired the stun gun into Lewis's chest. Lewis dropped to the ground. Petcack and the other officers grabbed his arms and rolled him over. "What did y'all do to me?" Lewis said. "I didn't do nothing." Petcack wrote in his report of the incident that he knew Lewis from previous incidents involved drug use and violent behavior. He wrote that he tried to de-escalate the situation, but that Lewis walked up to him with 2 other men. The video showed 2 men standing behind Lewis, but they appeared to be watching the interaction. Pekak wrote that he became fearful because Lewis appeared intoxicated and was armed with a large yellow container that turned out to be a jug of antifreeze. Pekak also wrote that Lewis raised the bottle in a swinging manner that made Pekak believe Lewis was about to attack him. Pekak's report said that that's when he fired his stun gun. The officer also wrote that Lewis's continued resisting arrest after he handcuffed Lewis, but that didn't happen. Pekak wrote that he used the stun gun a second time with Lewis, but the body camera video does not show that. Lewis was arrested and charged with obstructing official business, a 4th-degree felony. He remained jailed for 14 days until Cleveland Municipal Judge Charles Patton dismissed the charges during a hearing. City officials also found Pekak used excessive force during 2 other incidents. Pekak on September 4, 2018, dragged a man by his hair, stepped on his throat, and shoved him into the back of a police cruiser, following a foot chase. Officials previously released body camera video of that incident. 7 other officers received discipline in that case, including one who was fired after admitting to smoking crack cocaine for 4 years.
While on duty or recreationally?
They don't say. Pekak also used excessive force during an October 5th, 2019 incident when he used his stun gun on someone who was passively resisting, according to city records. Officials have not released the body camera nor details of that incident. So, just a bad apple, and he's gone now. So that's good, right?
That's crazy. Like, so you can smoke crack on a police force and don't get tested for that shit?
What I do know from some old school crackheads is that crack, like coke in general, leaves the system pretty quickly. So if he had a heads up that he was going to get drug tested, all he had to do was not smoke crack for X amount of days and it'd be clear. He come up clean. So,
okay.
Aunt sent me this one and I was super hype off of it, and then it just...
Wait, just to get clarification on that last story, how many throats did this cop step on? It sounded like at least 2.
One, that throat was the same throat both times it was mentioned.
Okay. Not that makes it better. Well, it makes it kind of better. It's half the amount of throats that you usually are supposed to step on.
But it seems almost like 100% more than the throat you're supposed to step on. You understand? You feel me?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Except neck on throat season.
Yeah, But that's usually a everybody agrees to that situation,
Okay. But everybody know what's coming. Because it's that season.
Anyway, like I said, Aunt sent me the story and I was wild hype off of it because I thought it was going to be a detailed breakdown of all kinds of things, and it turns out it's not, but it is one hell of a headline. Skating on the Cuyahoga and pooping on the lake. How Cleveland's enjoying the frozen tundra. We live in the city of Cleveland, Ohio, and what goes through the city of Cleveland is a river known as the Cuyahoga River.
It caught on fire twice.
I believe that means I think Cuyahoga means cricket snake, but I cannot be 1,000% certain.
That sounds right. Let's call it right.
Call this shit what it is, man. It's cool. Let's click on.
Sound like a P-Funk song.
I want to see if I can find it. Y'all not gonna just show me some love and just tell me what Cuyahoga means? Located in Northeast Ohio, I know. Census population, county seat is Cleveland. Derived from the Iroquois word Cuyahoga, which means Crooked River. Forgive me, I added snake for no reason. So it's an Iroquois name, for Crooked River. And anyway, if you saw the river, you know why. It literally snake. Maybe that's where I put snake from. It snakes through the county in a way that's like, you're like, wow, that river's doing a lot. But because it's been so cold here for so long, the river has frozen over. The lake is frozen over to a pretty solid distance out. And so someone was skating on the ice skating on the river is what this story is talking about. And somebody filmed a local coyote dropping a deuce on the lake because he walked out on the lake because they can get pretty far out there. And somebody filmed the dog a coyote. Don't want to put some respect on his name. Taking this shit on the lake. It's just it's wildly interesting to see. One, that we have coyotes around this part, but also that that they just like out here kicking it on the damn ice. Like, fuck it.
I was so wasted last night. I shitted on the river.
In this case, the lake on Erie itself. So you know, but you know what I'm saying, we got some props on that. But that's like I said. I was hoping that was going to be a whole story, but it was literally just that headline.
It was a blurb.
A tweet and an Instagram post. It's like, really, guy? That was all you gave me? I emailed this man, Vince Grizzorgi, I can't pronounce his name, and I asked him, hey, bruh, we oftentimes use your stories on our show, and I was wondering, how do I pronounce your name? And he never emailed me back. So fuck him, he a bitch to me, and I'm always going to mispronounce his shit.
He's a bitch in my book.
You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. This is another one Aunt sent me, and it's another one that's shorter than it should be. I feel like this should be, what the hell?
I guess Anthony has a new job. Before I send you shit, I need to look at it.
This is the state of online dating. How online dating has evolved in the age of chatbots, lockdowns, and government interference. This is by Amy Mayoz, M-A-O-Z. Online dating isn't just the most ubiquitous way for couples to meet. There's evidence it's responsible for stronger and more diverse marriages. And especially over the past year, dating apps have become a lifeline for millions of people craving connection as their IRL social lives stall. But technology has met the moment with varying levels of success. Inspired by the Mozilla Foundation's Privacy Not Included Guide to Dating Apps, a comprehensive guide to how most popular dating apps handle personal data and privacy, we set out to better understand the ever-changing world of online dating. Read on to learn how the industry has navigated cultural shifts, privacy concerns, and a global pandemic that expanded the concept of a face-to-face date, plus tips for navigating the scene yourself. Okay, so I'm scrolling. Here, let me accept these cookies. Maybe that's what it is. It's like, it's supposed to be more story, and it ain't no more story. So where's the rest of the story at? I don't know, but it's like...
It's all right.
They clearly have more story.
I'm not taking it as a loss. I'm taking it as a lesson.
Here, I'm going to right-click on this and see if I can find... No, can't seem to dig up more. Either way, hey, apparently there's a story out there that can be read. Read when you got some spare time. So this is a pocket of link you sent me, and there's probably more to it. But how to get to the more to it, cannot call it. So, sorry, our news this week is we're heading places. So the state of online dating, that one didn't work out. Okay, but this one is a banger. And I read most of this story earlier, and I want to go over it with you guys. So y'all know, or if you don't know, I hear surprise. The South, a good chunk of the South is under some wild ass winter weather that normally doesn't reach as far down south as it has managed to its down. And one of the states most affected by this is Texas, and the issue with Texas is that Texas, to avoid government regulation, federal government regulation, has not nationalized its electric grid. They do everything in-house in Texas, basically. And so their electricity is powered by natural gas because, of course, oil, one of the, the offshoots of oil production is natural gas. And so that's how they get their electricity in Texas. And they were going to attempt rolling blackouts in Texas. Turn the lights off for a little bit, take some pressure off the grid, fire the lights back up, and we keep it moving. But what happened instead is they turned the motherfuckers off, and they still ain't back on. I mean, going deep now. It's been a while since this initially happened.
I think this is the third day.
So a lot of people in Texas are in a real bad way, and it's of course the politics of Texas that have wound them up in this. And if we're going to talk about Texas politicians, well, we got to talk about the homeboy Raphael Cruz. You might know him as Ted, but he likes to go by, he goes by Ted because he don't want people recognizing his Latin Canadian roots. We ain't going to get into all that either, though, but Ted Cruz's Cancun trip, family texts detail his political blunder. This is by the New York Times. This is by Shane Goldmacher and Nicholas Fandos over the New York Times. The Texas senator faced fierce blowback for fleeing the state as a disaster unfolded. Text messages sent by his wife revealed a hastily planned trip away from their freezing family home. Like millions of his constituents across Texas, Senator Ted Cruz had a frigid home without electricity this week amid the state's power crisis. But unlike most, Ted Cruz got out, fleeing Houston and hopping a Wednesday afternoon flight to Cancun with his family for a respite at a luxury resort. Photos of Mr. Cruz and his wife Heidi boarding the flight ricocheted quickly across social media and left both his political allies and rivals aghast at a tropical trip as a disaster unfolded at home. The blowback only intensified after Mr. Cruz, a Republican, released a statement saying he had flown to Mexico to be a good dad and accompany his daughters and their friends. He noted he was flying back Thursday afternoon, though he did not disclose how long he had originally intended to stay. Text messages sent from Mrs. Cruz to friends and Houston neighbors on Wednesday revealed a hastily planned trip. Their house was freezing, as Ms. Cruz put it, and she proposed a getaway until Sunday. Ms. Cruz invited others to join them at the Ritz-Carlton in Cancun, where they had stayed many times, noting the room price this week, $309 per night, and its good security. The text messages were provided to the New York Times and confirmed by a second person on the thread who declined to be identified because of the private nature of the text. For more than 12 hours after the airport departure, photos first emerged, Mr. Cruz's office declined to comment on his whereabouts. The Houston police confirmed that the senator's office had sought their assistance for his airport trip on Wednesday, and eventually Mr. Cruz was spotted wheeling his suitcase in Mexico on Thursday as he returned to the state he represented in the Senate. As the Cruzes were away, millions of Texans were still without electricity, many had no running water, and the icy air that swept into the state was so severe that the Federal Emergency Management Agency had been activated to send supplies, including generators. Some searched neighborhoods for discarded falling trees to burn for warmth. What's happening in Texas is unacceptable, Mr. Cruz told a television crew at the Cancun airport. He was wearing a Texas state flag mask and a short-sleeve polo shirt tucked into his jeans. The temperature in Cancun was above 80 Fahrenheit on Thursday and in the 30s in Houston. After landing back in the United States, Mr. Cruz offered a new statement with a different tone from earlier in the day when he had tried to explain the vacation without regrets and left the impression that it might have been a one-day trip for him. Speaking to reporters after his arrival home, he conceded that the trip was obviously a mistake. He said he had begun having second thoughts as soon as he boarded the plane to Mexico, intent on a few days of remote work in the sun. The plan had been to stay through the weekend with the family, he said, framing the decision as a parenting attempt to placate his two daughters ages 10 and 12 after a tough week. On the other hand, all of us who are parents have a responsibility to take care of our kids, take care of our families, Mr. Cruz said, but I also have a responsibility that I take very seriously of fighting for the state of Texas. As it became a bigger and bigger firestorm, it became all the more compelling that I needed to come back, he added. Mr. Cruz's critics quickly circulated hashtags mocking his trip, flying Ted to play on the former President Donald J. Trump's derisive nickname for Mr. Cruz during the 2016 primary race, and fled Cruz among them. Some Democratic groups sought to fundraise off the episode, and the state's Democratic Party renewed its calls for Mr. Cruz's resignation. This is about as callous as any politician can get, says Gilberto Hinojosa, the Texas Democrat Party chairman. Mr. Hinojosa said he was shocked, but not surprised by Mr. Cruz's international excursion. He's a politician that really has never cared much about anybody but himself. Untimely vacations and opulent spurges have long ensnared politicians in scandals and public relations headaches. The international trips arranged by the disgraced former lobbyist Jack Abramoff in the early I don't need to know. Come on, bruh. The story goes on from there, but it doesn't go on from there. Basically, Texas is in a real shit show right now, and this nigga just was like, I'm out. And hey, bruh, I truly am not mad at him for dipping out, because if I could dip out, I would. But I'm not, the senator of the great state of Texas. I am, Joe Blow from Ohio. If I leave, it ain't gonna cause much issue. But if I could work in Mexico and the job would let me, Cancun was real nice. Gotta tell you.
Technically, you can, so.
I know, but I feel like I would really have to take some equipment with me, man, to do the job properly.
I ain't no Ted Cruz honk, and I don't give a fuck about him or Texas. But, honestly, what is him being, in Texas gonna change? He could do the same shit on the phone in Cancun that he can in his office in Texas. It's not like his personality is gonna warm up all those pipes that are burst.
I did point out he is not the governor. He's not a state official. He is a U.S. official.
But he is a high-ranking a Republican official. He has sway. He kind of can make shit happen just by using what's known as his bully pulpit. And also, it's just the optics of it. And I get it. That truly doesn't matter in the long run. But shit just looking real fucked up when you like, me and my lady, we out. Y'all keep freezing, bitches. And I'm going to be down here in Cancun.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. His family's rich, and he has those resources. When the situation like that, they can fucking dip. Is he not supposed to dip because most of the people that live in Texas can't dip also?
Yes. That's exactly what that means. He's supposed to sit his ass still.
And not to mention, he's repeatedly come after other politicians for, in times of not emergency, not being on the job. That's something that he does a lot. When he tried to say that a bunch of times, why is this going on and Obama's out playing golf? Which Obama rarely played golf. And that's something that he always brought up, how other politicians aren't on the ground. We need to be hunkered down. We need to be at work. We need to be doing this. When this motherfucker could be in his state helping people. He could be there. You can send your family away. That's cool. Your family, yes. Send them away. Send your children. Send your wife. But you need to be in your state helping people.
You ask what he can do. Well, there are people on the ground in Texas who are simply making phone calls. They are organizing people. They are organizing transportation to get people to warming centers. They are organizing people to get people food who needs it, firewood that needs it. He could just, honest to God, get on the fucking phone. And I know you're saying he could probably do that in
Cancun,
Cancun, but it's not the same as I'm up the road from my man, Joey at the wood shop, who I know is a constituent of mine, who I can work with, holler at, and probably get him some resources to help him get wood to other people. You got to be on the ground sometimes as a politician, and in this case, he just was like, "I'm going to kick it."
You can't save everybody if you also die of hypothermia.
Also, he could just send his family on. No big deal. They can go. That's fine. Send your family on as a protection measure. Stay your ass at home, though. And he not going to be cold. He can just stay at anybody's hotel that's got generators and stuff. He'll be fine. He ain't dying of hypothermia, but there's a lot of people in Texas who are. So, I just have expectations of him. Of course, we all have expectations of him, except for you, of course, Dan, who don't give a fuck. But I have expectations of this motherfucker. And
that is true.
And he don't live up to them. And it's I'm saying...
No, go ahead.
And he never has. Here's what it really comes down to. He's just a bitch.
And the fact of the matter is, these different politicians who call other people out over and over again about what they're not doing and continue to be just pretty much shit politicians. I mean, that's just it at the end of the day. Dude is just straight up a bitch. And I don't really come out of my mouth saying that kind of stuff about people, but pure bitch. If I could smack one person right now, it totally would be him. I
read a tweet me and Gabe was talking about before we got recorded that was like, Ted Cruz, the only motherfucker to try to attempt, who attempted an insurrection and abandoned his constituents all in one fiscal quarter. Like, goddamn, man. 2021 started with a real fucking clack, didn't it? So.
You know, one thing that's always bothered me, even as a kid, when I heard about what Charles Manson did. So Charles Manson supposedly, or had like different people that I guess they say was under his influence, who killed a couple groups of people, and he went to jail for it and got sent to jail for life. Never killed anybody himself, never done anything himself. But they said that he influenced people to kill other people, so he went to jail for life. Why isn't Trump going to jail for life? For something way worse.
Well, because 41 Republican senators said, nah. I would
43.
Never. I would never.
43.
Oh, yeah, 43. Thank you for doing the math. I would never indict this motherfucker or convict this motherfucker. And they didn't. And they made a point not to. Because they think he still holds, they are allowing him, they don't think, they know, to still hold sway over their party and people who support him. Because those people will give them money and will support them, and they think if they carry the Trump fire, the Trump banner, then they will be able to hold on to their job starting next year for some, a few years down the line for others, and so forth and so on.
Did I send you the article about the guy who sent millions to Trump and now he wants his money back?
You did not. I wish you would have.
I thought I sent it to you.
He want his money back. Why he want his money back?
Like I said, today 4th, when I send you articles, I will read them first.
Oh man, it's wild out here. But that's our complement of stories for this week. It was a weird week, people. We just kind of cope with us. But if anything, we got shit to talk about and other things to chop it up with. So we keep this no limit tank rolling, and I roll over to my man Ant and say, what you got for us, baby?
First, Prince Markie Dee died. From the
last of the Fat Boys, right?
Yeah. I want to say rest in peace to him. That was kind of messed up because I remember when I was little, my uncle Chris went to art school. Well, I think he did his art apprenticeship in New York, but he went to your girlfriend's alma mater in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
But he brought me back this mixtape of Red Alert, and this was maybe 90-ish. It was in the early 80s, so it was one of the most incredible things I ever heard. And they had a bunch of Fat Boy tracks on there. It was the Fat Boys and the Force MDs had a couple tracks on there. But something happened the other day that made me question myself as a father. So my son wanted to watch a movie, and I was just like, no, because your brother don't like it, I don't like it, and if your mother don't watch it with you, I don't want to watch it. He wanted to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
I hate that movie. Like, hate it. Think it's terrible. Like, really, really bad. And I had to, he wanted to watch it, and I was just like, no, I don't want to watch that. Quit asking me about it. And I had to look within myself really to be like, why do I hate this movie so much that I don't even want my child to watch it? Like, I was disappointed that he even likes that movie. But I had to keep on thinking about it and keep on saying to myself and relent to it he wants to watch it. Of course, I don't want to be in I just hate that movie. I don't I was beside myself with of course I didn't belittle him or make a huge fuss, but I was just like, I don't like that movie, and I don't like the fact that you like it.
It's one of Vanessa's favorites. She loves Tim Burton. Loves that particular movie.
I love Tim Burton too. Like Pee Wee's Big Adventures is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I remember seeing it and kind of enjoying it, but also kind of grosses me out because there's all kinds of wriggly bugs and stuff in that movie. The claymation is really well done, like some of the best I've ever done, actually. So there's high points to it, but it's also like,
It's just like, and it's a werewolf in the movie, which I love werewolves. It just ain't my bag, and
that's perfectly fine. Is it fine for you to just be like, nah, you can't see that shit. Fuck that. I hate that movie. You gonna hate it too?
No, it's not. I know it's not. And that's the the clarity of it. I know I'm being paid. I'm like, man, that movie fucking suck and you shouldn't watch it. But he watched it. I let him watch it. I don't like it's I'll say it like this. It's a lot of stuff like I tried to hip him on to and he's like, nah, I don't want to watch that. Like this morning, we try to before school, if he's watching TV, it has to be education.
Okay.
But there's really even with like PBS Kids and stuff like that, there's really anything that's like truly educational.
Mm-hmm.
Like most things like are 80% entertainment and 20% information. So this morning I put on Reading Rainbow for him. He's like, nah, I don't want to watch this bullshit. What is this? Because in this particular episode, which this episode is maybe 20 or 25 years old, it was if you give your mouse a cookie.
Okay.
Now
classic.
this is yes, which as an adult I know what that story means now, but as a kid I didn't realize what it meant. So he's seeing that as like, I don't like if you give a mouse a cookie. I was like, it's not the show, because there's now a show for it on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, no, they're just reading the book on there, like the original book. But then when he was taking the bath today, he was singing "Butterflies in the Sky." I was like, okay, so you did watch it. But yeah, I gotta do better. I know Gabe still has little ones. What entertainment does your kids watch that you're just like, nah, I don't like that shit?
Well, we downloaded the PBS Kids app on the Roku TV, so we get a lot of Daniel Tiger. Yeah, I guess you guys don't. For people who don't have kids and don't know, Daniel Tiger is a spinoff of Mr. Rogers' Great Neighborhood.
Yes,
he got its own show out of all the characters in the land of belief. Daniel Tiger's headlined in this.
Yeah, but Daniel Tiger was a little kid in that show too.
What?
He was a little kid on the original show.
Yes.
So I mean, I guess that's the lineage. There's like, okay, so Miss Elaine and all them is already old as fuck. Who else could we use?
There's and it's a pretty good show. They have they do good with representation too, and they have like Music Man Stan is married to Lady Elaine, so you got your mixed couple there.
And then somebody's dad got like an afro and a soul patch. Who is that? Is that the Miss Elaine husband?
That's Music Man Stan. That's Lady Elaine's husband.
Oh yeah, he smoked weed. I can tell.
He's smooth.
Yeah,
I dig his voice. Shit.
Yeah, I mean PBS Kids. The app it's a lot of good stuff on there. My kids watch like Wild Kratts like a son of a bitch. They watch Wild Kratts a lot. They watch Letter Girl. Emery will watch like The Cat in the Hat. Knows a lot about that. But other than Wild Kratts, Anthony is kind of outgrowing PBS Kids. the other day he threw on. I put on Static Shock for him. It was like he said, "I can tell this is gonna be my favorite show."
Ah, nice.
I'm actually very happy that they brought it back on HBO. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, HBO Max is. I don't pay for it because I have HBO, but it's bar none the best app for viewing things that exist. Bar none. Better than Netflix, better than Hulu, better than everything I have. Like, there's stuff like every week. They're getting new movies every week. It's been pretty good. You had any more shows that your kids hate that you like that your kids hate, or I'm sorry, the other way around.
Other way around. Oh, I hate a lot of my oldest son. I hate a lot of his shows. He watches these frantic, crazy cartoons, and I'm like, I don't need that. You're frantic and crazy enough. I don't need this. I don't need you viewing this.
Yeah.
I don't need you overstimulated. And he watches a lot of Dinosaur King, which is like, if you ever seen Dinosaur King, it's like Pokemon with dinosaurs.
That show is so bad. I hate that show.
It is. It's terrible. And I try to tell him that.
Yeah. My son had watched every episode of that show probably 4 times. Dinosaur King is what you want to be.
Yeah.
I'm not even hip. My children watch anime and shit. So how interesting that what a life y'all live with the younglings at this point.
Yeah, I think Dinosaur Kings isn't that technically anime? Gabe?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's really like Pokemon with with dinosaurs. The dinosaurs fight. They have powers that dinosaurs shouldn't have, like lightning bolts and like summoning wind, and like that's not what dinosaurs do. You're learning all sorts of things wrong about dinosaurs in this.
You really like sat down and watched it with them, because I don't know any of that stuff. All I know is the theme song and like the fact that my kids watched it, and I was just like, man, this is some bullshit. Why is y'all watching this?
Man, y'all, not so like so as I try to look backwards.
Maybe because like our kids are still pretty little. Like you've had a chance to be like, sit in with your disappointment with their entertainment, or finally get past it.
Yeah, but I wonder what I'm trying to like think back to what we watched, and it's like oftentimes like you said, like I would just put that bitch on 25 and we ride. You know what I'm saying? And so whatever was on 25, let's go. If you want to go back 10 or so years, you know what I'm saying? That's what my kids was watching. So it was a little bit of Arthur, a little bit of what's the word? You know what I'm saying? Word world, where they was like things would spell out what they was.
Yeah.
Dog, the spelled dog. You know what I'm saying? That shit.
The bear, the spelled bear. That's that's also on PBS Kids right now.
Yeah, like I said, 25 is our local PBS station. My folk, I'm sorry, I'm throwing out 25, but y'all don't know what that means.
49
well, now you do.
So I don't know. I can't call it, man. But it's interesting to see how y'all interact with y'all children's choices, or help guide your children's choices.
I don't really say I guide their choices, because most of the stuff they watch, they find on their own. Like this one show, both of my sons watch, called Miraculous. It's a story that takes place in Paris. So it's these 2 superheroes, Cat Noir and Miraculous Ladybug. And they're in love, like Miraculous and the cat. And then the humans, whoever they are regularly, are in love too, but they don't know. Like they both had crushes on each other and their alter ego, and like they have told each other in their alter ego, and vice versa. Like, oh, I like somebody else, I can't like you. And I don't know how the fuck they found that show. They didn't start watching it out of nowhere.
Like, who did this shit?
Yeah, like it's like 5 seasons and they've watched it all already. Maybe like, I mean, the pandemic is to blame for every fucking thing. Maybe because like I am like literally they're like my office mates all day long pretty much. Except for when they're upstairs with their mom as her office mates. Like I'm not actively watching the show with them, but I have to be in the same room with them while they watch this terrible show that I'm probably paying for.
Oh man, the hustle of parenthood, man. What was Box talking about earlier? We supposed to talk about on this damn show that has already left my brain.
Oh, damn. What was that? It was on the tip of my tongue, too. Something about Punky Brewster.
Yeah, Shia coming back.
Quite. So,
and we were talking about...
Peacock is bringing back Punky Brewster amongst this whole... Man, they also have Saved by the Glass, Saved by the Bell, whatever the hell that version of the show is called, and so forth. And on one level, we was talking about how Punky Brewster used to bring some serious shit to the floor, but nowadays it's just like, a standard sitcom, and just how I guess how all these people, how I would say is a lot of these places seem to have just a real lack of new ideals. And so they keep reaching backwards to be like, I'm gonna throw some nostalgia at y'all motherfuckers. That'll get you over the hump, right? That's why it's like 6 different Transformers shows on Netflix right now.
Wow.
and
None of them Beast Wars.
So I guess one flip of this is, what show do y'all want to come back? Or a variation on the theme that y'all like, oh, yo, if they brought me back, I don't know.
Man, Punky Brewster was a fucked up show to begin with. So Punky Brewster was a warm, funny, and bright child. Her father walked out on their family. Her mother abandoned her at a Chicago shopping center when shopping for groceries, leaving Punky alone with her dog Brandon. Like, that's a basis of a show. And then there's some old regular ass dude just pick him up and like, oh, you're my new dad. That's real fucked up.
What was her dad? What was the old man's name?
Henry, wasn't it?
Henry, yeah, word life.
I pulled that out of my ass. I hope that's the name.
I remember the Punky Brewster cartoon more than I remember the sitcom, because I don't know if the sitcom came on the regular night it was supposed to in Tennessee. I feel like it would maybe been a Monday night show and they might have had wrestling on at that time. You know what I'm saying? In that slot. And so I remember the cartoon because she had a magic beaver, whatever that nigga name was, Glomer.
Oh, wow.
The nigga looked like a beaver. If we gonna be, I'm
all right. I'm
gonna find y'all a picture of Glomer.
It's Punky Brewster was the cartoon, and that started in 1985, a year after Punky Brewster started.
Can't tell me this nigga ain't no damn beaver.
What was he?
He was just like a magic being. His name was Glomer.
What the fuck? Like it's funny. Like almost every cartoon from the 80s had an ambiguous type cat. Snarf was an ambiguous cat.
Yeah, but there was a whole cast of cats. You know, he was the pet cat to a bunch of like apex predator cats.
Okay.
Oh, apparently Glomer was a magical sprite, but looked like a beaver to me.
What's a sprite? Isn't a sprite usually like a gnome or an elf or something?
No, because them niggas is gnomes and elves. They got titles. Hold on, let's research a magical sprite. This is happening in real time, people. My apologies, but sometimes this shit is
one of those episodes, guys.
A sprite is a supernatural entity in European mythology. They are often depicted as fairy-like creatures or an ethereal entity. The term is chiefly used with regards to elves and fairies in European folklore and modern English is rarely used in reference to spirits.
I hate to toot my own horn, but beep beep. I just said that.
Nigga says you did say what you say, elf?
Yeah, it's usually look like a more of a human looking thing, but
And that motherfucker don't. He look like a beaver.
it look like a beaver with a with mutton chops and a. It look like
A goatee.
Yeah, he looked like Joe Dirt fucked a cat. That's what it looked like. Or a beaver.
Oh my god. Hey, they got 2 seasons out of that shit, bro. So respect due to it.
What? Okay, like to flip it on his ear. What are a couple cartoons that you were surprised, like, oh shit, that's a cartoon from our childhood?
Oh, I feel like we've mentioned RoboCop before.
Yeah, RoboCop.
And
Rich
Rambo.
Kid came out of nowhere. I don't know what the fuck that was about.
All them rated R movies that got cartoons. You know what I'm saying? Like you just said, Rambo, Mortal Kombat. It's like, what was y'all even thinking?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat was. I don't know. I played Mortal Kombat as a kid, so I really wasn't surprised by that. That shit just took off.
It's too popular not to capitalize on, but a cartoon for kids?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not like a Grand Theft Auto cartoon right now.
They're super tight with that particular license, so.
Where they give them a magic sprite to go commit crimes with?
It was funny. I remember we were at like nephew's house. Like all her nephews were playing the Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, and this was like, okay, so Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013, which was 7 years ago, right? 8 years ago now, right?
Yeah.
Going on 8.
So, I think her nephew is like a be 17 in July. So that little dude was about 10 then when this shit happened. And I remember they were coming up to the part where, like you go to the strip club and like you gotta make the stripper fall in love with you. Like that's like part of the game. And I was cracking up, but I was like, man, go in there and sit in there for a while. Watch your nephew play this game. And
well, you gotta
like, what? It was just funny.
You gotta be emotionally distant so you can remind them of their dads.
I guess.
What the fuck?
It works, man.
Oh my god.
Is that what is that how you you got strippers to fall in love with you, Gabe?
I acted not interested.
You acted not interested? I mean, you didn't marry none of them, so you were acting. You really weren't interested.
No, I mean, I didn't expect anything to happen. I thought thought they were just playing the game. Before I knew it, we were out on a few dates.
I was just thinking hypothetically.
The Palarican. The stories, people.
Sign up for Patreon, people.
What part of the game is that, man? Box, man, what's going on with you, brother?
So it's been a rough week for me and my family. My grandmother died last Friday, and so I guess I need to rewind a little bit. My cousin messaged me Thursday morning while I was working and told me that my grandmother was out of the hospital, but she was in hospice, and the hospice nurse made it seem like she was getting weaker and that, her days were probably numbered and that we should all come see her as soon as we're able. Like, they were making it seem like, probably sometime next week or, well, this week at this point. And so I was planning on going up there after work last Thursday and maybe not doing the show. And so I ended up talking to my sister, and she talked to me about going with her and my stepmom after work the next day so we could go see her, like, together. So I agreed to do that, and I didn't go. I ended up working like almost 2 hours of overtime that day, and, that Thursday, I should say. And then I came on here to do the show, so I didn't go see my grandmother, and then that night she died. So I woke up the next morning to text messages from my stepmom at like 6 a.m., 7:30 a.m., 8:15 a.m., because I didn't wake up until about 8:30. And my uncle tried calling me too to let me know that she passed away. So I called my stepmom and talked to her after I woke up, and my dad was in the car with her. I guess, they went to go see her and didn't tell any of us they were going that previous night. So they saw her but didn't tell the rest of us children that they were going to go. So none of us got to see her. So I ended up logging on to work and letting my manager know. So I've been off work since I worked for that day, and I've been off work since. And I didn't do anything last Saturday because that ended up being that Sunday was the wake, and then Monday morning was the funeral. So I spent the majority of Sunday with my family at the funeral home, and then we all went out to get dinner. And then Monday morning we did the funeral, and they did a church service around the corner from here, and then we did the drive to the cemetery, and then I ended up going to my sister's, and I spent the evening at my sister's house with my family. And then I've just been home ever since, by myself. I'm off work on bereavement leave, and just trying, like, I'm not thinking about it all the time, but there's like a part of me that's kind of like wondering when the breakdown's gonna come, because like I had like a 2-minute breakdown where I cried when I was working Friday about an hour after I heard the news. And then I put the lid back on the jar and held it together the rest of the day. And then Saturday, I cried for like a minute in bed when I was trying to fall asleep that night. But then I put the lid back on the jar. And then I cried for like 2 minutes when I was taking a shower to go to the wake. But then I put the lid back on the jar. And then I basically haven't really cried since. Like, I've had a couple tears escape here and there, but I haven't really like cried or mourned. I've just been kind of like putting it off. So I don't know, at some point here, it's going to get, like, I'm going to have, like, a moment where I just finally break. I think either that, or it's just, eventually, it'll be, enough time will pass, and I'll be numb to it. But it's part of it's easier because, she was 93 and had cancer, and ultimately her death was ruled by COVID. But let's be honest, she was not long for this world with or without COVID. So COVID's just the one that gets the credit for the kill, but COVID was just finishing off a limping deer. So, like, it's kind of, I feel really bad for my grandmother in the sense that, like, she was a really nice lady who she gave anything to anybody that she could. And because of the world we're living in right now, she couldn't have the full allotment of people show up to her funeral that she deserved. Like, even her daughter didn't come in from out of town to see her off. And, some of the people didn't make the trip due to weather, that we were supposed to get this giant snowstorm on Monday. And so, for someone I feel deserved a long funeral procession, she had about 3 cars of people see her off to the funeral site. And there's like probably about 6 people in that church that, we didn't know. Because, like, none of us go to church, so we don't know her parishioners and all that shit. So it was kind of funny because they did an actual Catholic Mass, and they did, like, communion, and, like, our entire family went up. But, like, every time the priest tried to give one of us, like, the quote-unquote body of Christ, all of us were like, nah, son. he looked real defeated by the end when like he kept reaching for the cookie jar and like no one wanted the cookie. But it was weird. Like I saw my dad cry a couple times, but like not like bawl, but like tears in his eyes, which like I don't know if I don't really can ever remember seeing my dad like be emotional like that. Like, I'm sure he probably did it when my grandfather died, but that was 16 years ago. Like, I don't remember what the fuck happened 16 years ago with great detail. But, like, I'm glad that of all the people I know, she made it to 93 because, she was a great lady. She was the one who, introduced me to basketball, and I used to go over my grandfather's house after school when I was in middle school. So, like, I spent a lot of time with her. She used to, like, let me watch TV in the kitchen after school, and, like, I put on the box. So she got to hear a lot of, like, crazy rap music and hip-hop and shit that she probably had no fucking clue what was going on. But she never complained. And, she used to do puzzles with me, and I would, like, do crosswords with her sometimes, and she always wore like a sweatband on her head, which I thought was fucking weird. But she used to ref high school basketball when she was younger, and I guess she was a candy striper at one point. And her and my grandfather used to take kids in from the neighborhood, and she was doing like tutoring here the last 15 years for exchange students, teaching them English, and like. For those that are religious, she was heavily religious, so, whatever value you place in that, then, she was that, and, she baked, and she was the first person I knew that ate, like, natural peanut butter, which I always thought was weird, because it looked like goopy and not, like, normal peanut butter, and, it's, I'm gonna miss her because she was always, like, the one part of my family that, like, never seemed to forget about me. Like, when, like, I don't hear from my siblings or my parents or anything for months at a time, like, she would just call me out of the blue sometimes just to ask how I was doing and what was going on with me. So, it was nice to know that not everyone forgot me. And, I'm gonna miss her with that. So, I love you, Grandma, and be easy.
I'm sorry that you didn't, that we're in these times when you weren't able to have a proper goodbye for her.
She spent a month in the hospital with COVID without anyone being allowed to visit her. So, like, she had just made it into hospice a couple days before she was gone. So, like, no one really got to see her for the last, like, 6 weeks. Like, we had that one Zoom call with her, and, like, I know people probably talked to her on the phone, but, like, she was getting to the point where, like, you couldn't even, like, talk to her on the phone because she couldn't fucking hear you. So, the last time I actually, like, talked to her, because I was on that Zoom call for her birthday, but the way I have members in my family that, like, don't realize that they just, like, they overtalk at everybody and can't shut the fuck up. So I was on that Zoom call, but I never actually got to say anything. And by the time it was my turn to say goodbye, the Zoom call ended, so I never actually got to say a single word to her. I was just there. But I talked to her on Christmas. Like, we had about a 20-minute conversation on Christmas, which is the day that she got diagnosed with COVID. So that was the last time I talked to her, like, one-on-one. So it does suck. Like, people wanted to go see her, but we just weren't allowed to.
Yeah. It's stupid fucking pandemic. And I don't know if this does anything for you. It actually does something for me, but who knows if it does anything for you. I don't believe in God, you know that. I'm no kind of religious person. But what I do believe in is people. And so I believe in a spirit of a person. And I don't know. I trust that her presence in your life will go on because she'll always be in your heart and always in your head. And I think that's pretty fucking dope. And maybe you just carry that on with you. You do for somebody else what she did for you, and that is, reach out to them when they might feel forgotten. So that way you doing what your grandma did for you, and she lives on through that. Because that's just what it is. Like I said, I know it's weird to say I don't believe in that. To some people, like, how do you not believe in God, but you believe in a spirit and people? But I just do. And she's moved on from here, but I'm saying moved on to who knows what. 93 years. What a blessing. Truly a blessing, man.
It's funny because, like, even while I'm sitting in the church, going through the motions of the whole fucking Catholic Mass is like a fucking hit class, man. It's stand, sit, kneel, stand, like up, down. It's just, like, I swear to God, like, I don't believe in any of it. But, like, I was going through it, for her, in her memory or whatever. But, like, I'm sitting there and I'm, like, listening to all these stories and shit. And I'm just like, this is such bullshit. Like, the priest tells, like, one story about, like, God was a shepherd and, he had this flock of 100 sheep and he had one sheep that strayed and he left the 99 to go find that lost sheep because that's what God would do. And I'm just like, that's a terrible business model. Like, like, you're going to let 99 perfectly good products go to go find the one defective one? Come on now.
Yeah. It's always interesting how the homilies go in those situations, man. But I know you ain't been to church a while. How much does it just comes back to you? How much of it is just like, oh, I could do this any Sunday given if I had to?
I felt like they may have, like, sped it up a little bit because, like I said, it was just my family in the front, and then there was, like, one family friend from my dad from when he was youth kid friends, and then, like, 3 or so random pairs of people that we didn't know. But the thing about it too is it's like I feel like religion is having, like, kind of like a numbers problem, which is why I feel like they're letting the restrictions go on, like, letting gay people into heaven and shit like that. Because, like, but I'm saying it's like when you go to, like with the last, like, couple times I've been to church for funerals, the people who are there that aren't, like, with the family, they're always elderly people. Like, every mass, like, the masses I go to is predominantly, not to say that I go to mass all the time anymore, but, like, the last few times I was drunk over the last 2 decades, it was a lot of, like, older people. It's the youth is not down with the religion for the most part. So I feel like they were just like, look, attendance is down. We need to get a new generation of people in here giving us their donations into the basket. So what can we do to turn this around? And someone raised their hand like, I know. We can say that gays are allowed into heaven now. They're like, by George, I think you're onto something here. And then they roll out that rainbow-colored Pope outfit, and you're just like, look, guys, you know what? We called God, and we talked it out, and you know what? All the same-sex marriage, you get in here. You're welcome. Like, thousands of years of you not being allowed, we changed our minds. You're good now. And then just watch the collection plate. Just ching, 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 ching.
I mean...
Because otherwise, I mean, what the fuck? Like, the problem is, like, I think internet is killing it. Killing religion. People are question too much shit now. Too logical, for the most part.
Sure, there's that, but there's also what you just said. There's many a church that will kind of be like, they try to play the middle ground about gay people. They'd be like, well, hate the sin, love the sinner. But that's not cool. That's you calling these motherfuckers sinners. That's not hot. Mm-hmm. But then there are other churches who are more affirming and are just like, nah, we just good. People are people, and we gonna just love them for being people. We just gonna love them because we love people. And that is more likely to catch more flies with honey situation. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
I assume my grandmother was cool with it all because her daughter's gay. So, and I never heard any family squabbling about that. Yeah. So, I imagine my grandmother was okay with the same sex marriage.
Hey, if she was like a dyed-in-the-wool Catholic and was just following the Pope's guidance, you know what I'm saying? Then the cool Pope has been besides liking hoes on IG. Has said a lot of things. It's been like, hey man, let's lay cool with things like this, that, and the third. So we gonna assume she was well. And plus, like you said, she has a gay daughter. So yeah, it was just. Plus, she just seemed dope as it was, and in the lives of children who needed her help when they needed it, she might have met a lot of gay people for all we know, and lended a hand to them. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that my grandmother didn't like. Like, she didn't, all right, so my dad claims that she whined a lot to him. But, my dad doesn't have patience for most shit anyway. So, for him, normal just banter could have been whining. I don't know. But, most of us never really heard her complain that much. I can't even think of any time in my life I remember her getting angry. My cousin brought up her yelling at her for, putting too many clothes in the washing machine. But, I can't really think of any time for, her yelling at me or me seeing her yell at anybody other than, my grandfather, But, but it wasn't, a long, drawn-out argument. She would just get, irritated with him being grumpy all the time. Yeah. But, yeah, man, she was, super chill. When my dad, died and then resurrected a couple years ago, she was there for the whole thing and, I know she was worried and sad and shit, but, she was kind of stone-faced about the whole thing. She would be a hell of a poker player.
I mean, but at 93 years old, she either was born in or born around 1928, 1929.
She was born in 1928. She just turned 93 on January 10th or 11th or some shit like that.
That is the Depression, World War, Korea, Nam, the Civil Rights era, 9/11, Pearl Harbor. Yeah. That's a life lived. And so, yeah, you get kind of hard to the world. You're like, all right, well, okay. If I got to deal with my kid being on the verge of dying, and though she probably didn't wish it, she was stoic and prepared for it, because motherfuckers who have lived through such a period of time, stoicism is just a part of them. It's baked into who they are as people. So, hell yeah, she was ready for, not ready for it. I'm sure she would not have wished anything like that upon her child, but she was like, all right, if this is the demon I got to face this time, then I'm ready to do it. And respect must be shown, man, at all times, bro. Just props to a great old lady, man. Respect due to it, man. And that will be you catch your breath, man. Don't sleep on it, man. It's okay. It is okay if you don't cry. It's okay if you do cry. Don't allow it to fuck with you that you are not, because yeah, you could be bawling the fuck out, you know what I'm saying? Or you could be like, or you might take it a different direction and be like, let's take the lessons I've learned from her and think on those and marinate on those, and that's okay too, bruh. So don't.
I think part of it just comes down to the fact that it's like I said, it's not like a surprise. Yeah. It hurts, but it's not like it came out of the blue. Yeah. I didn't know she'd make it this far.
Yeah, and I guess we try to be. You're grateful for it, So that is all right by me, man. My condolences to you and yours going forward, of course, man. But yeah, whew. How to one pivot from there? I don't know. I just put it on Gabriel's shoulders, and I hope he pulls it off. Hey, Gabe, that's on you.
Well, I'll let Lunch put a cap on that. He sounded like he was going to say something.
Oh, I was going to say, for a second there, I couldn't tell if that was your dog I heard snoring or you.
Might have been me. I don't know. It's been a real exhausting lately. The kids one night this week just got up at 3 a.m. and decided it was party time. And yeah, just woke up the whole house having fun, laughing their asses off. And I didn't want to.
Were they watching Wayne's World?
They were watching the RoboCop cartoon.
Yeah.
Callback.
And I was like, oh my God, why? Why? I mean, I find myself asking why a lot to a lot of questions that I'm not going to get a satisfactory because, like, why did my son put avocado in the kitchen, in the bathroom sink this evening?
Oh my God!
Motherfucker out here wasting good avocado.
Avocado's not cheap, and it's stuffed up the sink. So I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you? I asked him why, and all I get is that I'm sorry. I'm like, no, I didn't. I didn't ask for an I'm sorry. Our sorry doesn't unstuff the sink, which I did have to. I had to screw off the cap for the drain, and then scoop out the avocado. You smashed avocado.
I'm gonna tell you this, man.
Which
Not
I
at
would
that
lose
point.
my shit if I was in that situation.
which child did this?
My youngest son.
He is just a little spitfire, isn't he?
Oh, he is. He doesn't know why he does these things he does.
You want me to beat him up?
I could take him.
You think that? Catch you with an avocado to your fucking face. Fuck with me, Dad.
This one ain't right. Boom.
But he's so adorable and charming. Everyone seems to like him, despite all these spitfire things he does.
Here's the thing. I know underage children. I could hire a hitman. I'm not saying kill him, but we could, like, rough him up a little bit.
Holy cow.
Give him the 2-piece with the biscuit.
So you have to excuse me if I'm exhausted. Me and the wife are run ragged. We're outnumbered 2-1.
Well, it's just, obviously, like, I went on a bit of a tangent there, but then, like, we don't have your camera on, so I couldn't see you to know what was actually happening.
Well, I was paying attention.
That's the most important part.
But I wouldn't have known that because all I see is a giant gray screen.
Well, I had to turn off my camera to get a better connection. I'm the weak link technology wise in our group, and I'm sorry for that.
You're not the weak link.
Hey, man, it's impressive that you can podcast from a flip phone.
I did do something for myself and took advantage of the PS4 network sale and got me Resident Evil VII Biohazard.
Did you start?
I did start to play a little bit of it.
Go on.
And I got some genuine scares out of it.
Oh.
No way.
Oh yeah. I got startled a few times. Like I'm going through this. I'm wading through this murky water, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this body just bloops out of the water, and that startled me because I was expecting it. I'm like, at any moment something's gonna come out to try to scare me, and I'm not gonna get scared. And sure enough, it got me.
I'm a big boy.
And I got jumped a few times. That was scary.
Were they underage?
It's in the game. Oh, for people who are not familiar, in the game, you're looking for your wife on this abandoned farm. It's not abandoned. I don't know why they call it an abandoned farm in the game description because it's not abandoned. There's a crazy family eating people.
You should have just left her and went to Cancun.
I was gonna come back right away. I was just trying to be a good father.
Man, the comebacks is just tight on this situation.
But now I think the goal right now is just to leave the farm. We found the wife, and she's been infected
Is she
somehow.
alive?
And she tried. Yeah, she's alive. She tried to kill me a few times. Fuck that.
Yeah, leave her.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker right there. Trying to kill me.
This is one of the one times I'll be like, leave that bitch. I would use that language.
She cut off my hand with a chainsaw. Well, spoiler
Oh
alert.
shit! That's not a spoiler alert. That's just an alert.
Better your hand than your dick.
I don't know.
Is it?
I mean, in some senses, it's one. It goes hand to hand. Like, what am I supposed to do? I ain't the lefty. What am I supposed to do now? I feel like Puff. What am I supposed to do now? It's all fucked up now.
Oh my god.
I guess for like my situation, getting my dick cut off wouldn't change a whole lot of my life. But
Losing a
like,
hand?
you know, if losing my hand, like, that would make shit harder, you know?
Yeah, at this point.
It'd be my hope that eventually I'll need my dick. But like, I always need my hands.
Yeah, at this point in my life, yeah, I'll lose a hand. I mean, I'll lose a dick.
Yeah, but you've like put it through work. Like,
Put in work. Put in the dirt. Yeah, I'm old. It's over.
like you've got verifiable proof walking around that you used it.
Yeah. I didn't contest, so yeah, you're right.
Oh, dude. Oh,
Congratulations, played yourself.
my god.
Yeah, yeah, but I would rather lose my hand. I mean, my penis. How much of it is gone? I mean, I guess once you lose the head, I mean, any part of it, it's done, right?
That's where all the sensation comes from.
Yeah, like even losing just like a little bit of the tip, it's kind of over because like it's just that part of an organ when it's just like it's already kind of ugly to begin with, and losing any part of it is just unfathomable. It's just over. It's like,
I realize this discussion is supposed to be leaning toward video games, but when you think about it, the penis is a poorly built item. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's like everything about that is done wrong.
Especially like, I'm not saying I've seen y'all dick before, but like once you're circumcised, like, there's no hiding what's going on with the dick no more. Like, it was perfectly hidden before, and then, it got a trim up, it got a which one had the high top Duke? G.I. Joe. It got the clean, cleans up, the sides, the front, and the back of it. And now, I'm just saying, like, you ever see somebody who like missing the tip of their finger and you can tell right away? Yeah, any percentage of your dick, just might as well throw it all away.
The dick.
The whole thing away. Although that one nigga got his whole dick cut off and then went on to a terrible career in pornography.
No,
Bob
well, see, that's the thing. Like, it got cut in half. I'm saying, like, so I'm holding up a pen. I know this isn't a visual podcast. So, okay, it got cut in half. It was able to be put back together. But if you missing any part from the tip going down, any kind of just general maiming like that, you fuck, man, you fuck.
At that point, do you think like it'd be worth it to just kind of like go all the way and just transition?
That's too far.
For people. Yeah, but that's for people who feel like they need to transition to begin with. That's not just for you to just. I doubt you're gonna be all of a sudden like, well, I might as well just be whatever. That's not how that functions.
Well, because I mean, like, you don't have to go like put makeup on and get like breast implants or whatever. You could just like kind of like clean up the mess, just go flat Earth, and be like, I'm a woman now.
Yeah, see, but what's crazy?
Like lead into it, own that shit.
But what's crazy is, it's a couple books I've read, but this child was getting circumcised, and instead of using
in Canada,
in Canada, instead of using the scalpel, they used the something, and they burnt.
Basically, like an electric scalpel.
Yeah.
This motherfucker thought he was gonna try some new technology on this person's dick. They fucked it up, ruined this child's dick. So then they go and they basically, like you said, they tried to force a transition upon this person who their entire life knew something was wrong. Something was off. And then they found out the story. Oh yeah, your dick got destroyed in an unsuccessful circumcision when you were a baby.
And we turned you to a girl.
So we said throw the whole damn thing away and just let's just call it a girl. And it's like, but that's not what I was at all. That's not, and they knew it, and they knew it to their soul. And that's my point about people know shit to their soul, and though that if you know, say if your dick took off and like, they cleaned up the mess and whatever, to their soul they are what they are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was. I read that book a few years, almost 20 years ago now, and like the update of that story was like that person ended up transitioning back to a man, but was still just so fucked up in the head that they ended their life.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
Oh yeah. No yucks on this episode.
Or I mean, we can just get a push a T right there if you want that. You know what I'm saying? I give you that.
Yeah, this is Super Serious Part 3.
Nah, hell no. And in the realm of video games, because I'm just going to try to wrangle that fucking ghost back, I started playing Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury and was loving it, but that game is a part of my children's life in a way that Vanessa was like, oh my God, I remember waking up hearing that shit on Saturday mornings when they would be over at the house, you know what I'm saying? And they would be playing that game because the music is very catchy and very reminiscent. And sure as shit, my youngest child came and snatched up that Switch, was like, is Mario in here? And I'm like, yeah, because basically they've been only playing Animal Crossing. He was like, no, I'm about to play the Mario, I have not seen my Switch. Well, hold on. Nope, it's gone. I saw it earlier this evening when they brought it down for a bit. But apparently that game speaks to my children's soul, even to this day. I both love it and hate it because I would like to play it. I very much enjoy that game, but apparently it is not for me to enjoy right now. So I have been on Hitman, and I've been on Hitman real hard, like real tough. And I've been having a real good time with that. I would tell anybody of any video game system, because it's available everywhere right now, get Hitman 3 and finagle Hitman's 1 and 2. They sell it so you can buy it all at once or whatever, but if you can just, finagle it, cop them, that way you can play through the entire story, and it's well worth it. It has been so enjoyable. It's been so fun to go back to these Hitman streets, and I've just been whittling my way through it. The other day, I beat up a mascot and stole the costume, and it snuck all around the place, eventually becoming a doctor after beating up a doctor and a race car driver, finding some poison, injecting that into an IV, and then the racer, the person I was meant to kill, came to get they vitamin of IV, and that's how they died. And all I had to do is walk out the door, hop in an ambulance, and drive away. Shit's great, man. There's so many ways you can do a level that it just makes it like so. I'm going to eventually go back and replay everything and just try it different ways.
Yeah, I remember playing that mission. I also I know this is one of Gabe's favorite games. I bought God of War. I haven't received it yet.
It's so good.
It is really good.
Yeah.
And there's titties.
What does it play like? I never played it before.
So the new one don't play like the old one. So God of War 2018 does not play like the God of Wars that Gabe was so super enthralled in. And so it's a third-person action game, so you will walk around. You have an axe that might as well be Mjolnir because you can throw it and you can call it back. It's one of the most satisfying game mechanics ever. You throw that bitch at the bad guys, it'll hit them, and you can. I don't know. It just works with. You can feel the.
It hurts them on the return.
You can call that bitch back. Yeah. So you get them on a go. You get them going and coming, and it's just that game is. Like I said, I just started fucking around with it just to see what it looked like on since they updated it, and I got right back into it. And I was like, God damn, put this shit down. You got too many new games to be playing and trying to go back to this one, but that game is amazing.
I played the first two. They're good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I got a lot of plates in the spinning in the air as far as video games go because I haven't never finished Spider-Man, never finished God of War, never finished Last of Us. So
Did you start Last of Us?
I did start Last of Us.
How far did you get in?
Not very far. I met the girl I'm supposed to escort across the country or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have you played any games on your new Xbox yet, Dan?
Nope. I've had that thing for over 2 months now, and I ain't played a single fucking
So you
game
just
on
sitting
it.
up there rich as hell. Like, look what I got, bitches.
I go on Twitter every day and see all these people crying about how they can't get the new Xbox. And I just, every night I go to bed and I roll over and I look at it sitting in the corner of my room, hooked up to the TV, completely unplayed.
You're the Ted Cruz of Xboxes right now.
There you go. There it is.
Oh my god.
Shit, I'd probably go to Cancun right now if I could.
Bruh.
I thought we had a travel ban. What the fuck happened to that?
No.
We never did.
We have a travel ban in that you can't come here.
Well, we can't go to Canada.
You can go wherever they'll let you go. Canada said, no, you ain't coming up here. But Mexico is like, I need this money.
Yeah, Mexico, Dominican Republic. There's been a lot of places that were always open.
Yeah, man. It's a bunch of the Caribbean spots, island nations and so forth. So it's like tourism is what they do. So they like, fuck it, we'll risk our staff getting corona to let you come down here and spend your American coin.
I mean, let's be honest. Most of them will probably go get kidnapped eventually anyway.
Someone had to.
Not in Cancun.
Yeah, nobody want to keep us.
Not us, the staff.
Yeah, Cancun is and it's been a mighty long time since I went to Cancun, but it's a very Americanized spot in that regard. And it's because Americans go down there most. You know what I'm saying? But
I thought it was just MTV's B studio.
yeah, but it's a very God, I'd love to go to Cancun. I just want to travel with y'all because I love y'all and I want to travel wherever with y'all. And so I just heard about I was watching Good Mythical Morning a little bit before we got on, and they was talking about a steak restaurant at the Americana, bourbon something or other, and I was like, yo, that is a spot I would love to go to with Dan because it's bourbon and meat, so I know you could be happy.
Yeah. I cracked this open before the show.
Which one is this one?
Eagle Rare.
Oh.
So it's the one.
This is the regular one. Yeah, like our bottle's downstairs.
Very good.
Every now and again, I'll open our bottle to smell it, but I haven't actually drank any of it since we did that show like 13 months ago.
God.
I probably should do that now, just because like I have a better understanding of what I'm doing, just to see what it actually tastes like.
We gotta hit that motherfucker when we all can sit together again. Just have a drink together. and it might as well be like, you know what I'm saying, something extra dope like that. You know what I'm saying? Just cuz, man. What the fuck? What you been playing, Ant? Just to see if you've been playing anything, man. I know you said you finished up Grand Theft.
Yeah, but I've still been playing it, like doing some of the some of the rare stuff. Like I rarely play with Michael. I mostly play with the black guy because I'm black. So
yeah, my man Franklin.
Yeah, just going through like driving around, see if I can catch some of the rarities and oddities around the city and stuff.
Yeah.
But when I sit down again, I'm probably gonna play Red Dead 2. And then after that, I'll play Spider-Man. Like I also ordered from GameFly for like $10. I ordered Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. I'll play that a little bit. I was thinking like maybe that's something the kids might want to play, but we'll see. But my youngest son likes to play Soul Calibur 4.
Hell yeah, he does.
I'll just put it on the training session, and like you can hit the other people, but nobody loses power. And he'll play that for like a long time. But I don't really think he should be playing that either. But like he's 3 years old and he loves to play video games. He asks every single day, "Can he play something?" And he got tired of Sonic. He doesn't want to play Sonic anymore.
It's like a billion different Lego games.
Yes.
And so you can just any number of those are you know just Ducky, Little Big Planet. No, Little Big Planet, Sackboy. You know what I'm saying?
On
That's their little platformer type vibe.
I seen I was that's a whole other story, but I seen what's the game you just said with the animals Animal Crossing. I seen an Animal Crossing version Switch the other day at Walmart.
Wow, nice.
And I was thinking about getting it for the boys. You know, my oldest son's birthday is coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get him a Switch.
My homegirl used to work with us. Angie was I posted something and she saw it was like I can't find them hoes nowhere talking about Switches, and I was like, they ain't talking about that's the one thing I know I can find out in these streets. You know what I'm saying?
Not always.
But in that instance, I was like, I immediately go to the Target app because I saw the Target always the link. I go to the Target app. I'm like, look, it's the Mario one at Fairview right now. Go buy that shit right now because it's gonna sell out because it's the Mario one. And she was like, oh my God, it's sold out already. And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, I just told your ass to buy it right now. What the fuck? But it turns out she was just on the wrong store in her app. Flipped to Fairview, got it, bought her kid, and he's like, it was like super hype off of it. I'm like, there you go. That's what's up. Out here spreading the gospel of video games like I always do.
Yeah, like the one, like I'll check, like the one in Mayfield, the one on, because there's like it's one on Cedar. Like, it's like 4 Targets very close to me. Like, within
close enough that you can get to, that you consider to make moves to.
Like, the one on Cedar seems to be like the store that'll get them and have like a couple of them and they'll be there. The one on Mayfield never has any. The one on like on Euclid and Willoughby, they'll be going. Like, I'll go and check back and they pop in and out. So but yeah, that Mario one do look pretty nice.
Yeah,
but the Animal Crossing one is nice too, though.
The Mario one is the first one where the actual case of the Switch is different. Like the Animal Crossing one, on the back of it has like a motif of Animal Crossing designs. Vanessa has the Pokemon Go one, and on the back of it has a motif of Pokemon, like a Pikachu and Eevee on the back of it, and different colored Joy-Cons. I have most of the Animal Crossing one because of the only part, well, not most of it. I have the most important part is the dock, and I ordered the dock off of eBay when it first went on sale because people wanted the Joy-Cons or they wanted the dock. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up buying the dock off of eBay, and that's the dock up in Lee's room, and that's what if they play it on TV, that's what they put it in. They put it on that. So I have the Animal Crossing dock in my house, but not the Joy-Con. That Mario one, man, because it's like a red Switch. It's got these deep ass red sticks, and it just, I don't know, man. I just fuck with it. It looked dope. Only reason, because Vanessa was like, "Do you want to get it?" And I'm like, "Kinda," but I'm trying to be patient because I am certain beyond certain they're gonna drop an updated Switch before this year is up. So I'm just gonna wait, and they're gonna come through with some hot shit, and I know it. And I'm be super excited to have it. So. And then I can just then my other one will officially become my child's, even though pretty much at this point it's my child's.
Well, I'll try to wait it out. And plus, I know when they probably re-release a PS5, it'll probably be the black ones, right?
I don't know, but if somebody is selling, because you can so those are removable plates on the PlayStation,
Mm-hmm.
so you can pop that bitch off and put another one on there. And somebody's online right now selling plates that they make for them in different colors. And so I was looking at one, I was like, that blue one kind of look hype. But also it's already weird, this giant white box underneath my TV. It just sticks out like a fucking sore thumb. So I mean, it's like the smart move if I cared so much would be to just get it in black, get the black plates take the white ones off, put the black ones on, and just have another random black box underneath my TV. But I don't know, man. I don't know. But Vanessa's nephew was over here. They came to visit. When the fuck did they come over here? I don't know. Maybe around Vanessa's birthday. Had to be. And he was like, yo, you got that? I'm like, oh yeah, here. Why don't you check this game out? I let him play Astro's Playroom, which is the game that comes with it, or comes on it, not with it. And he was like, yo, this is, I'm like, yeah, man, it's, if nothing else, the controller is what sold me on the PlayStation 5. The thing is, nobody takes advantage of it, like, except for Sony. And that's probably what it's going to be. Some companies are like, well, we added some effects. And I'm like, nah, bro, but none of y'all did it like Astro's Playroom. And I would just, whenever we can all come together, which apparently will be sooner than later, you know what I'm saying? I guess the vaccine is out there. I just want everybody to come fuck with it for a little bit and be like, oh, yeah, that's dope. Because, I don't know, I think it's real. But actually, as always, I play the Xbox more than anything because I'm an Xbox dude. And I have been since the OG. So it just continues forth even now to this day. I play shit on Xbox. I'm used to controller. That's what fucked me up. If you go play Switch for a little bit and go back to Xbox, the A and B is switched. Chaos. Every goddamn time. I'm sitting there tapping B when I mean to be pushing A, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, oh, that's Switch controls. I got to stop doing it to myself. So, again, as always, I say, we can all get together and get some Fortnite popping, man. It's free, and it's on every system, and it's got crossplay. We can all just get out there and get our pop on. Whenever y'all want to play some Fortnite, you just let your mans know. I'm down. Just cuz. Throw the headphones on and we'll get the cracking heads. Or, losing terribly because we can't build for shit.
I don't know. I don't know if I would be any good at that.
I doubt I would be.
You are I know you are out of shape now, but once upon a time, Gabriel, you was a gamer.
I did.
And I like to know that it's in there. I know that it's in there somewhere still.
I did beat God of War 1 and 2 on the hardest level possible.
For sure. So it's like I know you got it in you, man. So I know you can do it. But
I was just telling my girlfriend the other night about how when we were little, like I would play video games with my brother, but I would often have to let him win when playing if I wanted to play the game again or if I thought the game was fun. Like when we used to play NBA Jams, like I love playing as Air Dog.
Yeah.
And I would be like, oh, I gotta peter off a little bit. I'm feeling myself too much. If I want to play again, then I better calm down.
That is how I had to be able to be with my brother to watch certain shows that I fuck with. Mm-hmm. I just be like, oh, I hate this shit, whack, and then he just keep watching it because he was being a dick of a brother.
Which show did you have to do that with?
I can't even recall, bro. I just remember clear as day having to do that.
Pay reverse psychology. Like I hate Punky Brewster. I don't want to find out why her mama left her.
Oh my God! So I remember having to do similar things. You know what I'm saying? It's just be like, yeah, hey, that's what's up. But that's what's going on in the realm of video games. I find it weird that we've talked about video games now 3 weeks straight. Because oddly enough, during the pandemic, video games have been a huge deal. Like they've been selling like wildly. Grand Theft Auto 5, which we were just talking about, has sold 142 million copies. The best-selling game of all time at this point. Like none better because people just buy it and they buy it again. They lose it. Their cousin take it. Their girlfriend break the disc and they go and buy it again. And keep going because people play that shit online. You play this game and the story, but most people play Grand Theft Auto online. That's where they make their dough at. People buying shark cards and playing it, and they play the online portion of that game. It's never spoke to me. I tried it once and I was like, this does nothing for me.
It's weird. I tried it once too, and like making the player and stuff, it was weird. And then like actually trying to play, I was just like, nah, this ain't for me.
Well. It is simply not. So I'm with it on that regard. Well, you know what it is, people. I'm saying everybody done had they turn on the mic, so we just as we start spooling down, we go to the mean
I
streets of
felt
Reddit.
like an asshole getting scared by a video game.
I would think you feel like a bitch, but that's okay if you feel like an asshole.
Oh, no.
Well, I was just trying to
I mean,
transition.
it is what it is.
Am I the bitch?
Let me tell you something. Am I the asshole is the asshole this week because the selection is, I pulled a bunch. I mean, I'm like, none of these is really screaming out loud at me, but I'm hoping maybe y'all can make something happen with them because that's how it always goes down. But like I said, as always, each week we head over to Reddit. We pull a selection of Am I the Assholes. And my partner used to pull them for us, but before she got sick, and even though she is back to pretty full health, we had to take over the pulling of stories of Am I the Assholes. So pretty much it's in our hands now. Though she did tell me the other day, she's like, if you need me to, I will certainly do it for you. And I go, it's okay. We kind of got a vibe going now. We kind of got a voice. So I'm going to rattle through some. Tell me if any of them seem to speak to you. Which ones speak to you the loudest? And we'll ride out with that. Am I the asshole? Oh, shit. I think I clicked the back button. Let me click the forward button. And see. Oh, I guess whatever. I think I clicked back and... Oh, no, I clicked forward is what it was. Am I the asshole for telling my dying father that he's a shit father? Am I the asshole for telling my mom that I don't like my sister and that she needs to parent better? Am I the asshole for not giving my parents money for the house? Only reason that one kind of interests me is when I looked at it, it said to start off, I'm 17. So I was like, oh, that might have something going. That might be a little something. Am I the asshole for giving my daughter a dozen of colorful eggs to give to her brother? I don't even know I was like, what the hell kind of eggs could it be? So I don't know. That what I said. That's why if you were wondering why the hell I pulled that one. Am I the asshole for not trying harder to tell my husband I was in labor? Labor is spelled with a U. Therefore, they are either British or Canadian. And am I the asshole for locking myself in the bathroom and having a very long bath, causing my husband to have to entertain his own guests? This one has been deleted, but of course, we got the screen.
It's an episode of Breaking
so
Bad.
Don't
that's
worry.
Why.
Is that an episode of Breaking Real?
I'm just making a joke. I'm making jokes.
I was like, oh shit. So those are some that I pulled.
All of them seem not too terrible, but I do want to know why she was taking the bath. Like,
all right,
that just seems kind of weird. Like, if I'm about to have company, man, I could see if you go in the room and watch TV or some shit, but why you taking the bath?
All right. Am I the asshole for locking myself in the bathroom and having a very long bath, causing my husband to have to entertain his own guests? Hello. I was not expecting to have to ever post here myself. What a complete 180 that is. I will keep this as short as I can. My fingers are still very wrinkly. Worth it, and it feels very strange typing. My husband often invites his work colleagues for dinner and drinks to our home. I do not mind this, but he always expects me as his wife to cook, clean, serve drinks, and entertain his guests as he mingles around. I have never attended one of these evenings as a guest. I'm always the one in the background and keeping everything afloat. After one of his last social evenings, I told him flatly that I will not be entertaining his guests anymore. I will not be a bar or a cleaner. I told him that he doesn't understand how much work goes into an evening like that to make it as successful as they have been. Well, he practically laughed and waved me off and said he can handle these things himself. And so this evening came around. He made sure I knew about it more than usual. I believe he remembered our last conversation about the topic and assumed I wasn't serious. Well, once his colleagues started arriving, I took my phone, laptop, a bottle of champagne, and camped out in the upstairs bathroom, having an absolutely wonderful bubble bath. He came up at least 6 times throughout the evening asking when I was getting out, that he doesn't know how to keep everyone entertained, that he has too many drinks and meals to make. All I said was that he should have done some prep work, like I always do. And I reminded him how he said what I do is easy anyway, so he shouldn't be struggling. The evening ended, and he has an absolute go at me, telling me how disrespectful I was toward him and his colleagues by leaving him alone in all of this. I remained quiet and only reminded him that he told me about how easy it all is anyway. He called me a string of very colorful words and went to sleep in the other bedroom. Am I the asshole for holding my husband to his beliefs about how easy hosting an event like this is and letting him do it himself?
No. She's not the asshole. Her husband definitely is the asshole.
Bruh, every time we read one of these ones about like these, I'm just like, y'all should probably not be together. And I get it. There, like I said, there's a whole lot of love to be given and a whole lot of whatever. But it seems to always be some motherfucker who's just wildly disrespectful to the point I'm like, that's a level of disrespect where we can't play no more. I can't be cool when you just is like, what you do ain't shit, ain't worth a damn. And your shit, it's easy and I can do your shit. It's like, bruh.
Go,
no.
Yeah, go do it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Okay, then make another hove. You know what I'm saying? If it's that easy, go ahead, bruh. And again, like I said, I get it. He angry and shit, but like coming at somebody wildly, like I said, I'm angry at you. I'm gonna curse you out and all that good shit. I don't know, bruh. I get like I said, I get in the fights. You know what I'm saying, we argue sometimes, and it'd be. We'll go with colorful, like this woman just said, but also, I can't call it, man. But what do the people say? Let's see if we can see anything worth our while.
It's funny that you say, well, make another hole. I know a saying that I use all the time, and my kids are picking up on it now. I'll ask them, well, is it black girl lost or shorty owe you for ice? You tell me that, Emily. And then it's funny, they'll be like, they'll say black girl lost. Or shorty owe you for ice. They'll pick one of those.
Man, I'm trying to find. My mom is a traditional homemaker too, but my dad still helps her with entertaining. They both have strengths and they support each other. So she might cook the food and arrange a platter, but my dad will carry all the chairs from storage and pull the heavy dishes out of the oven. They even work as a team, not like master of the house and maid. Fact, you know what I'm saying? I can get down with that. This person says, listen, I get traditional, but let me say, I spent almost 20 years as a minister's wife and did what you did. When the divorce happened, see, and I had time for reflection and thought, I realized that he had chosen me because I was good at things that would help him in his career. Good at being a hostess, good cook, strong administrative assistant skills, play piano, sang, good teacher, good administrator, all the things that helped him. While there may have been an attraction, this kind of person is really just looking at you as a resource. Unless there's a huge change and he wakes up to what he is doing, he's just going to get more resentful of your unwillingness to cooperate and help until he decides to leave. And then you'll be free.
I kind of feel like that person made a good point in a way. Like, but almost to the other argument, like, if you feel, okay, let me get my words straight here. If you're used to a person's used to doing those things for you, you should like nip that shit in the bud right away.
Yeah. Because
like that person is just expecting the things of you that you're usually doing. Which isn't the case in this situation. That dude was straight up being a bitch.
You done threw that around tonight a lot. You don't normally get down like that.
I'm drunk.
Motherfuckers just really have disappointed you tonight.
I hate motherfuckers tonight.
Box, I'm gonna let you pick this last one. As you missed out on that first one. Am I the asshole for telling my dying father that he's a shit father? Am I the asshole for telling my mom that I don't like my sister and she needs to be up to parent better?
That's a good.
Am I the asshole for not giving my parents money for the house? Only reason I picked this one is because this child is 17. So I thought, Am I the asshole for giving my daughter a dozen of colorful eggs to give her brother? I don't know. I don't even know why I picked that one. I think I picked that one because I think on Twitter they had a follow-up that they thought was funny. So I was like, okay, maybe we'll go through and read their backups, whatever. Am I the asshole for not trying harder to tell my husband I was in labor? Labor spelled with a U, making them either Canadian or British.
That's all of them?
Yeah, it really was a shit selection this
All
week,
right.
as I said.
We'll go with the telling her mom she has to parent better.
Fair enough. Am I the asshole for telling my mom that I don't like my sister and that she needs to parent better? My family has been having issues lately, and yesterday was my 21 female breaking point. I have a sister, 12 female, who constantly needs to be told what to do because if not, she will not do anything. We recently got a dog, and so we have a sofa cover that has to be rearranged after someone lays on it because it slips off the leather couch. Yesterday I asked her to fix it. She gets an attitude and barely organizes it, and so I tell her to do it again, to which she leaves the couch cover all lopsided again. I tell her to do it again, and finally it's somewhat acceptably fixed. My sister and I don't have a great relationship because of our age difference. I find most things she likes as mundane, and I can't relate to her at all. A few months ago, my dad revealed to me that the whole thought process behind having a second child was for me, so that I wouldn't be alone in life. I told him that I honestly didn't mind being an only child and never felt alone. Another contributing factor to our non-existent relationship is that my parents expect her to follow in my footsteps. Now I get that my parents take pride, but it just seems that my accomplishments are now her expectations and that my accomplishments are no longer special. Last night while I was doing the dishes, my sister tells my mom that I told her 3 times to fix the couch cover. Then my sister goes on a rant that she wants a cat and that when I move out, they should get a cat to replace me. I'm a broke college student with student loans, and I will start my master's program in the fall, so financially I cannot afford to move out. She then goes on saying that she takes out the dog 2 to 4 times per day and that I only do it 1 to 3 times, and in her view, this is unfair. I snap back saying that she doesn't do anything around the house and has to constantly be told what to do, i.e. it's been 4 days since she took a shower. She doesn't make her own bed, doesn't help do the dishes, laundry, etc. I then point out that I clean the whole house every day, whereas she has no responsibilities around the house. I then pull my mom to the side and tell her that she's a pushover and she needs to parent better. I then break down and tell her that this whole issue was brought up because I asked her to do one measly task. I then remind my mom that when I was 12 and had no school, I had to clean the house, take care of a toddler against my own will while my parents were at work. I asked my mom to be a bit firmer and give my sister responsibilities. My mom then responds saying that my sister just doesn't listen to her. I tell her that this is happening because my mom is way too lenient and lets her do whatever she wants. I then burst into tears and blurt out that I never wanted my sister, that I shouldn't be expected to like her, and that it's really unfair that my sister isn't put up to the same standards as when I was her age. My mom didn't respond, but she was clearly upset, and today we haven't spoken. So, am I the asshole?
Yeah.
She's
Alright.
bitchy.
She's not an asshole for most of that, but the outburst at the end about hating your sister and shit, that's an asshole move. And like, this is coming from someone who has had these conversations. Being the oldest, I have also lived this life of younger siblings, and you get all the responsibility and they get to skate by, and it seems like you get held to this higher standard for some reason, and they just get to do whatever the fuck they want, and you're told to deal with it because you're the oldest, and it fucking sucks. I have never yelled out that I hate any of them, but I'm not naive to the fact that my upbringing is different than others' upbringings, but it is what it is. In this situation, I think she was fine up until the "I hate her, I wish you never had her," yada yada yada. That part was what made her an asshole. Everything else, I feel like she was just being a normal person and with realistic expectations.
Yeah, like I said, I just more took it as she was being bitchy. Like I agree with Dan. Like she crossed into assholey. Like she was, fingering the tank, as it were. Like at the end,
She crossed the asshole Rubicon.
Yeah, the problem she's going to run into is that, like, you're never going to come out on top in a bickering argument with a 12-year-old. Like, you're just going to have to find a way to, like, just fucking, like, ignore it and move on. And, you know, if that means that you just don't do shit and shit doesn't get done, then it is what it is. Like, you know, if you keep picking up after everybody, no one's going to be forced to change.
That's right.
Says ESH. Now, we don't get a lot of ESH as we do these discussions, but what that stands for is everyone sucks here. I mean, not your sister. She's a kid. Mildly, you are the asshole. Saying you don't like your sister and didn't ask for her to be born makes you sound like a 4-year-old. You are the adult in the relationship. You need to act like it. Your parents are total assholes. They seem to have failed in parenting both of you and seem lazy and uninvolved in raising their kids. You're made to raise yourself and your sister as they pawned all the work onto you, while with your sister, they've just given up on doing the work. I'm really sorry. It does completely suck for you, but your parents probably aren't going to change now, so you need to get out and help yourself. Hopefully when you are adults, you might be able to have a relationship with your sister. So pretty much what you guys just said.
The age gap thing makes it tough, man. Like, I have nothing in common with, like, my youngest brother. Like, he's about to enter high school. I'm 35. What the fuck am I supposed to talk to him about? You know?
Yeah. No worries. We don't get a goodbye from the Podfather because he fell off the show, so worry not. Again, we are working through our technical issues. We'll get them there. We do this every week. Pretty solid record on doing just that. We've only taken a little bit of time off in this show's 7 or 8 year history, and so put some respect on our name because we fucking good at what we fucking do. It must be said. It must be shown. Housekeeping as always. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. Let them know that we your shit and that we out here week by week. COVID, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Insurrections, wild ass fucking snowstorms that touch down to Louisiana and shit. We out here.
One time that squirrel chased me into the house, I still recorded that night.
We own this shit for a fucking reason, and like I said, I'm not gonna lie to you. Some respect must be put on it because it's just like I said, we're pretty great. We have a YouTube channel. Every episode goes up on YouTube every day. I just noticed today that for some reason it's in 4K. There is no actual picture to the show. It's literally the show's art. It's the show's art and the audio plays, but that shit is crisp. 4K HDR. We out here doing the damn thing. We also have a Twitch channel where we stream every so often. We're not like Twitch streamers, but every now and again, we just want to share some of our video gamery shit with you, and so that's pretty dope. And so we have a Twitch channel for just that.
Gabe wears a bra and panties during our Twitch.
Now they got Twitch terms of service would immediately boot his ass off for that. They don't play.
How does it?
Unless you're racist, then you can totally do anything you want. Oh,
I thought that's what Erica Fett did.
I mean,
wait, what?
she used to be on Twitch, but a little more, like in her provocative wear. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if she still is on Twitch. God, I haven't seen her anywhere. But also, I don't think I follow her anywhere. So, where to?
I forgot who put it in our Twitter chat the other day, but it was like a Titty Tuesday post, and I looked at that hashtag. I was impressed. I was unaware of this magical hashtag. I didn't even know that it was nudity. Well, I did know it was some nudity on Twitter, but man, I didn't know.
Yeah, Twitter is wild naked, and people who get mad at Instagram accounts be like, "You can see me over on Twitter if you want to." Like Twitter, Instagram be on some bullshit. I'm like,
okay, I will see you there.
Well, I certainly will. Thank you for this invitation. Look, this show is our hobby. We have a good time with it. But the reality of it is it costs money to make it happen. It costs money to post the show on the internet. It costs money to have a website. It costs money to keep Gabriel up and running as best I can.
And me, there you go.
Oh, he didn't listen to me. He came back.
But that means if you really fuck with us and you have some money, I get it. During these trying times right now, a lot of people don't have money. But if you fuck with us and got a little extra something, your taxes came back kind of chunky, you got a couple of severance dollars left, well, please head over to our Patreon, Stage Crunchy and Milk, patreon.com/Stage Crunchy and Milk, and consider supporting us. Just a buck is love shown. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but hey, every little dollar counts. But members at the $5 and above tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. You also have merch available over at tpublic.com/user/stagecrunchyandmilk, all one word. I am currently, right now, this very instant, rocking a very comfy gray hoodie, wildly soft on the inside, that came from TeePublic. Our logo looks so nice on this particular background. I had a dark blue hoodie, and I've seen the logo on a black shirt as well, and I don't like it on the darker colors. It doesn't pop in the way it should, and I don't feel like their ink is doing as much as it could do. But these other colors, I like a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I would say you maybe consider getting a lighter color and so forth. If you're a smaller person, you get way more selection of colors. I'm a big old man, so my color selection gets a little chopped a little tighter on TeePublic, but
you could buy a lot of hoodies with a $1,400
hey, that's for real.
Yeah.
And we
donate them to people in Texas.
Have you seen
Fuck Texas.
these different memes of them saying like, I heard if you got kids, you get $3,600. And look at all these men getting pregnant nowadays.
If you are so inclined, feel free to give us a call, 216-302-8763. That's 216-302-8POD. We'd certainly love to hear from you. The pod sister,
my sister's been
was threatening to call us the other day, and I kind of had to talk her off the ledge. She was really about to come at my man.
Uh-oh. We was about to hear another diss track.
Yeah, she had the gun loaded, and I was like, hold on, you put that away.
I think we should stop calling her the pod sister and call her the pot sister, the way she was going to come at you. My fofo, make sure all your kids don't grow.
But it's out there for you, too. And we'd love to hear from you. And again, the contest is so whatever, you know what I'm saying? But contest, I guess, actually is the proper turn of phrase. I'm gonna be real clear with you. You're probably going to be a listener in the continental United States for us to ship you out a shirt, but I'm not saying that's a have to be situation. I'm just saying I could probably make it happen quicker if you are in the continental United States, because I can probably have your shirt sent directly to your address as opposed to me having to go to the post office and make some things happen and have them ship me a shirt and then me ship you a shirt. But like I said, give us some commentary. Holler at us via the show's email, which is podcast@stagecrunchyandmilk.com. We said at the beginning of the show. I don't believe I said at the end. Give us a phone call. Hit us up on Twitter. And there you go. And like I said, you do that, you could win yourself a little bit of pod merch.
How long do you think we should keep this going? Because this is the third week, right?
This wraps up at the end of February. So we get one more episode in February. I think you do. Yeah, you get one more chance at this in the month of February. Actually, you get one more episode that will come out in the month of February, and we will let this contest go until the 4th of March, which will be in March, and that'll be when the first episode of March drops. Okay. So that's how far this contest goes, and there you go. Get down with the get down if you are so inclined. That's Tatum 216.
Yes, that's me. I was quick.
It's Lunchbox 2099.
I'm claiming it today, but maybe not next week.
It's all good. Bang them sets. That's the real ODP who for a moment was gone and then came.
The internet won't let me be great.
It's okay.
I'm sorry it won't let you be Greek, Gabe. I thought you liked being Puerto Rican.
You roboted as soon as you said great, and it did sound like you said Greek.
They won't let me be Greek. Can I be? Can I be Caesar dressing then? How about Italian dressing? I want to be Greek so bad.
I had Greek dressing the other day from Athens Pizza, local pizza spot down the street from me.
the Grecians doing with their salad that we not
I
doing?
don't know. It was good though.
Usually, what a Greek salad got like it's like black olive, some feta.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. He said dressing. I thought maybe the dressing.
Yeah,
game
the dressing was
something
Greek.
You know, chose.
It's like
The salad was regular
I
ass
thought it was-
American with cheese and tomatoes and onions. Regular ass, but the dressing was Greek.
Usually, what is Greek is like a thinner, darker Caesar, pretty much.
Yeah, how was that? What was that pizza spot that you went to, Gabe? On 117.
Primo's is okay. It's pricey though.
We got that one down the way from me, man. I mean, would you recommend it? Like, do I need to try it, or you could just sign it off?
You don't
like,
need
nah.
to try it. No. It's. I would try it, and they got vegan options too if you're into that.
Okay.
So, are you guys going to try the new Detroit style Pizza Hut pizza?
I have really come to terms that I don't like pizza.
Okay.
I oddly enough have really kind of become a Little Caesars man. They have a super easy to use website. You go pick it up. You literally put a code in, and the machine opens up. You just take your shit out and leave.
It's like an Amazon box.
It is, and they deep dish pizza, which is Detroit style.
Yeah.
Because it's square. I would say you get they deep dish double cheese, and if they fucking around like my shit is, it'd be like so thick the cheese be like you be looking in the box like, damn man, that's a lot of cheese, and it's the move.
Now,
So I swear by it.
Enough
No, we
cheese
got
to
a lot
choke a
of-
horse.
now a lot of I haven't tried a lot of pizza styles outside of I've had deep dish before. I never had Detroit style. I had Ohio Valley style. Have you guys ever had this Ohio Valley style?
I just heard about Ohio Valley style last week. My man Barrett from Kinda Funny, who is from Ohio, was posting this as like this shit made me embarrassed to be from Ohio, and I was like, yo, bro, I am from Ohio, and I've lived here for a mighty long time, and I ain't never seen this shit. Apparently, Gabe, I'll let Gabe explain it to you, but I'm like, no, go ahead. Tell me
No,
what the shit is,
they
man.
bake the dough and everything, and then they put the toppings on. They put the toppings on cold on a warm pizza, and it's no bueno.
Let me see if I can find y'all a picture of it, because like I said,
All
this
these
shit
different
had me
styles
like,
just sounded like, back in the early 2000s, like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Guess what, me and Brenda did? We did it Ohio Valley style. What's that, man? That's where I make her put on a real tight t-shirt, and then me and her both get in the t-shirt at the same time. And I bang her from behind.
Smell my finger.
Yeah, smell my... rest in peace to Screech with the Dirty Sanchez.
I might go ahead and give the Pizza Hut pizza a try, depending on what the weather's like the next couple days.
How do they describe it? Ohio Valley style pizza comes out of the oven covered in only a slathering of unseasoned tomato sauce and a meager layer of melted cheese. It's then piled up with mounds of cold cheese. Each bite is both hot and cool. It's like
the McDLT of pizzas.
Yeah. The McDLT of pizzas. So does that sound enticing to any of you guys?
I don't know. I'll wait till I see the picture, but I'm intrigued by this Detroit style Pizza Hut pizza. And I guess you guys can't see us in Zoom, but the two middle guys might try it.
fair enough. I am the Interstate 713.
Pizza.
You've just been podcast to, and I know you loved it.
Good night, everyone.
Don't step on any throats. All right, stop recording.
Stop. All right, so here's
Hey, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.